Welcome back to Blast Guys Reviews. In this review, we're taking a look at the G.I. Joe Classified Series Cobra Chip, Raptor, Talon, and General Ledger action figures. This is a box that comes in. I love this black box with the Cobra insignia there. The G.I. Joe logo looks amazing. The nice window box shows pretty much everything you get in this set. Here's the back of the box. I like the artwork. It looks fantastic of the figure. In the background, you can see that Raptor is backed up by a couple trouble bubbles and being surrounded by a bunch of the Raptors as backup also. Unfortunately, I wish this set came with an open set of wings for his Raptor. I'm not a big fan of that hood that goes over their heads, and it's just a stationary piece and not very playable, so I wish we got that a little better. So you can see the back here looks good. Bottom of the box does not, with all that trash on there. No one cares about all that legal stuff. It should just be on the insert and not on the packaging. There's the side of the box. This is 139 in the series. All the stats. QR code that goes nowhere. And as always, artwork is amazing. Most of the time they hit these out of park 99%. Looks absolutely cool. Top of the box. Bottom of the box. There's UPC if to help you at all. Find this in stores or otherwise. But here's how he's packed inside, which is kind of irritating because you really don't get any accessories. See all this real estate right here? That'd have been perfect to get another set of wings like they did for Freedom. That came with Spirit. Unfortunately, we don't get that. And you can see they attached the wings on this back insert, so keep an eye out for that. Alright, so here he is outside the packaging, and I want to say, it was kind of on the fence with this guy because, I wanted to see Raptor in the classified line, but, as a fan of those obscure characters like Big Boa, Crocmaster, Raptor, Crystal Ball, which we're getting here in 2025, but just like, I was wondering also how they're going to do those wings, but we'll get to that. But overall, let's take a look at him. I kind of feel weird about it, not sitting with like that cowl over his head, but this is what they gave him for his updated kind of classified feel. Get the shaved head on the side. And then we have the hair that comes down over the top. Definitely interesting, I guess. He had the mask, the Robin mask. Pretty cool. Looks like my head's a little wobbly. He has this plastic feathery design, like shoulder pad that goes around the arms. Tans and blacks. Some brown here on the back also. I mean, it's nicely sculpted at least. And then it looks like we have this necklace that kind of is connected to the shoulder pads. And we have this tattoo kind of just painted on his chest. And then it goes down his back here, like on his spinal cord. I'm not taking this off because I'm not popping the arms out, just breaking it, but it obviously probably goes up to the back of his neck. We have a tattoo here on the side. It's pretty good. Then we have the gauntlets. I have some fur sticking out of with a red diamond there. Some gray for the inner pad. Some nice sculpting on that. Pretty cool. There's a hole, I guess, for General Ledger. And General Ledger, what's that all about? Just call him Ledger. I mean, you give a Raptor a military rank. I mean, that's silly. But one thing I thought was really, really cool is this bird belt buckle. That looks very cool. I like the metal appearance that it has. The sculpting on it's decent. Then we have a movable or removable pistol case here for his pistol, which is good. I'll get that out of the way. Brown pants, the black belt. You can see the textures in his pants is pretty good. Then here we have on this thigh pad, we have some extra pouches, which is decent for, if he's in flight, he can store some stuff. Over here, we have another thigh pad. It's interesting because it has this little hoop here, which is pretty cool because it's for his knife. It's an open knife holder. Definitely different, and I think it should only be unique to this character. Let's not see that again because I hope they don't get away from full knife sleeves and just do this to save money. Nice little pouches here. It gives a little bit of diversity in the overall design. No knee pads or anything on this character. We have these boots up to his knees with some feathers sticking out for the overall aesthetic. The gray down the center, which matches his gloves. I will say the feet is quite thicker than him. It should be. I don't know what's going on with that. But he has these talons sculpted into him. They're black, but they kind of clash with the dark brown boots with the gray, almost like, raptor feet from my original bird. His peg holes on the bottom of his feet, not too bad. Overall design for him, for the figure at least, it's definitely, Raptor. A more modern take on him. Pretty cool. Overall, I'm not too concerned how he came out so far. Here's his cowl for his accessories. I like how that's sculpted. The eyes look pretty decent. The nose, the beak, the fur, the different colors, the tans, the browns, and the darker brown. A bit of black maybe wash over it. This is very flexible. It's like it's just going to sit on top of his head. And yeah, it's awful loose, fortunately. So that's how this is like the main accessory for me, because I got to see that how that turned out. I mean, it sits decently positioned, no gaps or anything. It's nice flow, but it's loose on his head. And speaking of head, I want to check out this loose. I got a bobble head here. Just back and forth for the articulation. It's awful loose. Looser than I would like. It's not broken or anything. It's just the tolerances, I guess. Like we've seen that in other classified figures. Yeah, this bobbles a little bit. We can see that his hair gets in the way sometimes of the shoulder pad there. Well, his arms raised up, kind of stuck. He might need some heat. I want to say you can get a T-pose, but mine's kind of stuck. Bicep, of course, this is a swivel here, 360 around, but you gotta get around that shoulder pad. Bicep swivel 360, double jointed elbows. One works, the other one's kind of frozen. Okay. The hands swivel 360. They have the up and down on that hand, and the same for that one. We have the diaphragm crunch, ab crunch, pretty good. And then back. We need some flexibility in this area before flight mode. But obviously we can't get no good looking up for a flight character. And all those years of making toys, they still don't get it. And we have the splits and the drop down hips, which always seems to remind me that you forgot about the hidden butterfly joints, which are there, and they're very little movement in them. Yeah, they're definitely there. They're just not very, they don't actuate very well. Thigh cut, double jointed knees, frozen. Yep. He's definitely have to have some heating in this character again. Do we have a boot cut? We do have a boot cut. The feet do pivot down, maybe. Nope, they're stiff. Then around the ankle. So definitely have to do some freeing of the joints, so to speak, at least for my copy, fortunately. Okay, yeah. So that's really cool how that sits, because it doesn't cover up that belt buckle, which is, I think it's pretty much the centerpiece of this figure. And his feet's so awkward for some reason. I don't know why. It's just, they're too thick, and he makes him want to fall backwards. No matter however you position them, they kind of just get stuck in that position where he just wants to fall backwards. There we go. So yeah, he looks good overall on presentation on his shelf so far. The lack of accessories is what's irritating. You do get these claws. I think these are like from the version 2 Storm Shadow. You get 2 sets of them. These are pretty cool, and you can see how flexible they really are. So we're still not getting the stiffy weapons that we all want. Hands are soft, so I'm surprised that that's going to work out for me. So we get those in his hand. People out riding their motorcycles today. Yeah, it kind of holds it. Kind of weird though. Guess maybe I have to heat it up. It doesn't want, I don't want to force anything because it's a soft plastic like that. You can get stress marks, or I don't want that to be something that happens to my figure or my accessories. So that's not good. Same thing for this one. This is just going to position weird so far, and I got to see how far I can take this without damaging stuff. They kind of have this Wolverine type vibe where, you know, he stands like this. I guess it's just I don't know. I'm starting not to like the figure more and more as I get into it. So he does have a knife, black handle, silver blade at least, to some paint there, and like I said, this will go here like that. So that's kind of cool how this shows through like that. So it's decent. Pretty tired trying to stand the figure up. Black pistol, kind of gunmetal slide here. This is pretty decent. I like the pistol, it looks good. And then we have a place to keep that. So, does it fit? It does. It fits nice. So that's kind of cool. So overall, we can keep his little accessories that you do get. You can keep on his person. So that's decent. Alright, so we have General Ledger apparently. It's very small. For being a Raptor, he should be bigger. I get this stupid... This kind of reminds me of that movie Zartan. He had one of these with him in a desert outfit. We get this stupid cover over his eyes, and his wings are just folded down. We have some paint on him at least, but peg there for his arm. Tail's flexible, no articulation or anything. For $35, this is definitely a cop-out for Hasbro. So as we take a look at the position for General Ledger, it's kind of I'm trying to be nice here, but kind of ridiculous. So this is like where these pads should be, because that's for the back where the elbow goes, and this is like for the front of the arm. But they put the hole all the way on the back of a glove like this, and you know, obviously with the peg, and it goes in here and it fits. But I mean, that's just unsightly. It just doesn't work because of there's articulation in this thing. But then if you try to do that, you're going to bring those feathers around to his arm like so. They drilled the hole in the wrong spot for the way the overall aesthetic of those gauntlets are supposed to be. Like I said, they have a place for him on his shoulder. I don't see a peg hole in this. There's a peg hole in that one too. So you can choose what arm you want for General Ledger. General Ledger. There's nothing on his shoulder I can see, at least. Nope. So, you can't fly with him. I mean, if you want to go for a stationary bird, give me one with the wings open. I'll take that. No articulation over this. At least you're going to get more out of your figure for playability if you just care about just standing on your shelf. And that's how he looks. That's one thing. But I bet you more playability options would be more appreciated in the G.I. Joe classified community collectors than that. You know, you can be in flight with him and going into battle, but no, we get this version instead. We all know why. And this is why. They put all the money into this thing. So you're on the fence if you are a classic version of Raptor, you're not getting it in this copy. They went with the mech wings. Now, another thing that irritates me, I think that Hasbro is doing this. We're getting classified. We'll call them classified versions versus we're going to get them again over the same character in a retro version in the retro carded line. So they're double dipping us, guys. That's what they're doing. They're giving us this, and then if you want original about a year later, you just want a copy of this character if you like him or not, and then they hit you with another one that's better, and you've paid 35 bucks for this, and now you gotta pay 25 bucks for a classic one with cloth wings. But you know, this, I'm not gonna lie, this is interesting. But one thing I noticed when I took out of packaging, it's super thin. These are very thin. I thought it'd be thicker. It is very, very thin. But you can see overall the paint came out. It looks good. I mean, they did put some effort into it. We have RP wings, rip wings, CM2 feathers here. Then we have this side and this side. These are, you know, bigger than my camera. So there's a lot of articulation here. So we have articulation here. So you can bend it like that if that's something you want to do. So in a base body, there's nothing there besides the up and down, I think, here on the wings. So we have that on both sides. This is the underside of it with the kind of full VTOL type of turbines. So you have that bend we showed you, and then we have one here. And they do go both ways on the wings. Then you have this rotation here. You could get a 360, just gotta get past that joint there. And it goes all the way around, however you see fit. So, yeah. And it does expand pretty good. I mean, it's huge. I mean, it's probably, you know, more than 12 inches in length. I don't have a tape measure, but comparing it to him, like probably more than 2 of him if he's still on his shoulder. So, pretty cool, nonetheless. Like I said, I wish I would have took the cloth over these any day and a better general ledger figure, but for now, this is what we got. Okay, it does attach to his back with no problem. These are kind of like lights, maybe. Pretty cool. Alright, so here's a look how long those wings are. They are pretty decent. Now again, because those wonky feet there, they definitely make his back heavy. He's definitely in need of some type of stand. And I should utilize something else, which I'm going to show you here in a second. There's General Ledger on the ledge. Pretty cool. So, one of the things I thought was interesting they did was to bring these down around the front of him. Now these are bulletproof. This can give him some type of protection for his chest overall, but his lower body, not so much. But I think that's an interesting perspective of him. So I thought it was pretty cool, at least. So it would give him some kind of protection on the ground, but all he has to defend himself is a little knife and a pistol and a blind birdie. Now, obviously, you can come up with any combination of flight poses. But one of the things I thought about, what about standing around? What's he do when he has this on? So basically, we try to fold these back, this and then this down, so to speak. Then they kind of clash right there with the other bird feathers. So let's bring this down and then fold this back to give it more like a folded in type look. So it kind of looks like that. And then with these down to the ground, these can help stabilize the figure on the shelf like this, so he can stand relatively like he should. So that's a fix for that. So that's pretty cool. And you can see how they, don't know if that's going to damage the wings, the feathers over time from the weight with gravity. But we'll have to wait and see. And that's what it looks like from the back. So I actually do like this, the way that looks. That's pretty good. Just be careful if you don't want to warp anything. But that's pretty cool. Alright, so let's talk about final thoughts. Do I recommend this figure? No. So the cons are, you know, the stock / loose joint. This is too loose. It just sits on his head. It can fall off and especially on flight mode, that's gonna fall off and drive you crazy. It's very thin. The feet are too thick. So the flight apparatus, glider, whatever you want to call it, is super thin. That's something I can say bad about it, besides not being the cloth version. But that's my preference. But the cons is it's thin. For the pros for this, the other con I have is poor little General Ledger here is too small. It's just it's a terrible offering for that character. You should have wings at least. If you want to do a stiff figure, just give us an open wing flight one so we can have playability over, just display purposes. Positives, for the wings, for the glider, I like the posability after we can bring it around and give him some kind of protection. The acid playability, the paint's good. The joints seem pretty good. It has multiple purposes. You can help stand the figure, I guess. The tats look good. I like the knife and pistol and where you can keep them, how that's designed. But for $35, I think you got a little bit of light on accessories, and it could have been better in my opinion. So, like I said, try to get them on clearance. If I didn't known all this, I would have waited and tried to get them on clearance for maybe $20 or something. But I think it's overpriced for what you get for $35. So if I tell it as I see it here on Black Skies Reviews. If you don't like this review because it's more of a negative one, because it's a negative figure, it looks like it was rushed. It was definitely critiqued for cost, I'm betting. But I don't care what company you are, if you have a bad product, I'm going to tell my viewers on this channel if it makes people mad or not. But I just think that it could have been a lot better. I'm not happy with my purchase, but add to my collection at least, and let's see if we can get a double dipped version, hopefully sometime from a year from now, in a retro style look. And that just kind of irritates me more, getting double dipped on figures like Cobra Commander and Beachhead, Trooper, stuff like that. But that's my review. Hope you guys like it. If you do, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. And we'll see you in our next review.